Hey guys, hope you're having a great week. We're back, and today we're going to be diving a bit more into blogs and the content. So, I've had a lot of people ask me, and this is something that we all think about. What do I write about? What do I want to say? And then how do I develop that content? Or, you've written for a long period of time and you've had a blog for a while maybe, and you run out of things to say or you run out of things to discuss. Well, we're going to talk a bit about that today, just a couple ways that I create content, how I look at things before I do, and kind of how I break down the process. We're going to go through this together, so it might be a bit interesting, but follow along, take notes, because content at the end of the day is the most important part of your blog. You need to have good quality content. It needs to be something that people can relate with, that they can understand, and that they can connect to. So you want to make sure that you're writing quality content. But also, you don't want to stress yourself out about it. You don't want to be so stressed that you don't know what to say, you don't know what to write about, and then you end up sitting there for a couple hours trying to write this post. How many of you have done that? I know I've talked to several people who have just sat there and they have thought and thought and thought and they didn't know what to say. Well, the best bloggers are those that just write. They write what they're thinking, and they kind of follow patterns like this that I'm going to show you today on how to identify the topics, how to write about it, to define it, create your post, and then move forward. And so just if you ever get to the point where you're stuck and you're sitting there for a couple hours and you feel like you can't write, or even a few minutes, like if you're there for 10, 15 minutes and you just don't know what to say, take a break, take a breather, start over. The other thing is, and we've talked about this already this week, is remember, your blog is like a personal journal. What would you write about? What's going on in your life? And as you think about those things, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just write and write what you think and feel. So anyways, we're going to talk a bit about it. So follow along, take notes, and actually go through the steps with us to see how to create this content for your blog, okay? So the first thing is we have different themed posts. So this slide serves two purposes. First, I highly suggest so let's say you're going to write 3 times a week, maybe have it themed. So one of those days is about your personal life, one of those days is about business, one of those days is about some other topic. It just helps you to really be able to stay on track. So you know what your blog needs to be about. It helps you prepare. It helps you to think about it as you're going throughout the week, which is super important. So if you're going through something, and let's say you are writing about something in your personal life while your family goes out, you know that that blog post is coming up, so you can take pictures and prepare. So having your post set with themes and planned in advance is going to help a ton with the content. I'm not saying you have to know exactly what you're going to say. I'm not saying any of that. You just have a theme so you know that on this day you're talking about this. And you can do like a rolling month, which is really nice. So you take 30 days and you say, okay, I write 3 times a week. So that's 12 posts. I need 12 topics. There's going to be some overlap, and that's totally fine. But it helps you prepare. It helps you think ahead and kind of be on the lookout as you're out and about looking and, living life. It will give you a bit more of an insight to what you want to write about. It'll help you be on the lookout, and it'll help your post ultimately be more successful. So then within these topics, you'll see I went ahead and gave you a few more ideas. So if you're talking about the community, you can talk about events going on, local businesses, grand openings, reviews. You're talking about your personal life. It can be what's happening in life, your family, your friends. You got something new. So a new house, a new car, a new puppy, whatever it may be, right? Talking about your product. What's your favorite product? Why do you use it? How do you use it? What has it done for you? Talking about company, so your company, what has Young Living done for you? How has your business gone? Upcoming events, the money you've made or you've seen others making. And then passion, what motivates you, right? What drives you to be passionate, excited, and motivated? These are just a couple more ideas of how deep you can take your content. But in addition to that, let's use this. So you have a topic, so I want you to write your topic down. What is your first post going to be about? Let's say for this example, we're going to do a post on our personal life, okay? So write personal at the top of your paper, and then what you're going to do is we're going to think about a certain event or certain things that we want to discuss. So what is it you want to talk about? Just write down a few keywords. So if you had a picnic last week, you're going to write personal at the top. That's your theme. And then you're going to write picnic, family time, food, summer, whatever it is that describes your picnic. So different words that describe your picnic or what you thought of the experience, or it could even be phrases. So just take a couple minutes and do that. Set a timer so you don't spend a ton of time on this, maybe a minute or two, and just write the words that come to mind. You don't want really long phrases if you do use phrases, because the goal of this is just to keep it simple, to give you some thinking points. So write those down. So again, you're picking your theme. So in this case, for the example, we're using personal, and then you're setting a timer, and for a couple minutes, you're writing anything that comes to mind in regards to that experience that you're going to write about. So in the example, it was a picnic, so you're going to write about these words. So it could be family time, outdoors, summer, fun, food, whatever it may be. Write about it, okay? This could be a great opportunity to talk about maybe a recipe that you made or something you did or whatever. Anyways, just make sure you write them down. These are going to give you a bunch of words. So now we've spent a total of about 3 minutes creating content, and you have an event within a certain theme that has happened in your life, and you now have talking points. So you have several different words that are going to help you create your content. And we're only about 3 minutes into doing this. So this is a great way to expedite creating content and to give you quality content that's really going to help you out. Okay, so the next step is going to be free write. So I want you to write for 3 to 5 minutes. Now, what I like to do is just set a timer and you just start writing. Use the talking points that you have and start writing. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to worry about grammar. You're not going to worry about spelling. You're not going to worry about the wording or how it sounds. Don't even reread it. Just start writing. That's all you need to do. So pick your topic. So we have our theme, which is personal. The event that we're going to talk about, or the story that we're going to talk about, is the picnic. You have your free writes, okay? So the first word on there is summer. Start writing about summer. The next one is food. We'll start writing about the food and stuff you had at the picnic. Family time. Start writing about family time and how it helped. Okay? Start writing about these things that you wrote down. By the end of this 5 minutes, okay, and it may take a little longer. So if you have a ton of items on your list, a ton of words, it may take a little longer. Don't write for more than, 10 to 15 minutes max if you have a ton of time, or a ton of items rather. You don't want to spend all day doing this. The goal of this is to expedite your content and to help you have quality content. So go ahead and do your free write and just take the time to write out things. So now this is where you're just going to write about what happened and use those words to help guide you. Okay? So the next phase is what I call the edit phase. There's several steps within this. So you're going to take your free write, and at this point you're going to read it. Keep in mind, there's going to be errors. There's going to be spelling errors, grammar errors, things that may not make sense. There should be if you did your free write correctly. So if it's a perfect written document, most likely you took too much time editing it, tweaking it, and changing it instead of just writing like you should have. Okay? So go ahead and use your free write, look it over, read it. Now what I want you to do is you should have created a couple paragraphs at this point worth of quality content that describes your picnic. I like to take a highlighter and highlight these so I know what they are. Now it's time to write your blog post. This should be relatively simple at this point because you have sentences, paragraphs, several things that you could use to help create that. So now you use your free write and you simply put it all together into paragraph form for your blog post. Okay? That is all it takes, guys. You're probably at max, if you spent 15 minutes on the free write, you're less than 20 minutes in, and you're now at the point where you have all your information gathered and you're able to create an actual blog post. How cool is that? So now take a couple more minutes, put it all together, and then do a final edit. Read through it, look at it, make sure it makes sense. Obviously, if there's major spelling issues or things like that, change it up, fix it. Absolutely, but don't stress so much. You want your blog, like we've said before, to sound like you. We want you to be able to, we want people to be able to connect with you. And we want them to be able to read your post and know that it is you they're working with and that it is you that they can connect with. And they should be able to read it and feel like they have a relationship with you. that you guys have a friendship and that they can really understand who you are. So do your final edit. By the end of this time period, you should be maybe 30 to 40 minutes max, okay? And you have your entire blog post done. Set time to do this each week. Go ahead and write your post out for the entire month. Why not? Get them done, schedule them to go live, and then you don't have to worry about it. You have them done. But take the time to write your blog post. Use this format to simply help you really understand how to create the content and do so quickly. Okay? Like I said in the beginning, if you're sitting there taking hours, most likely you're not creating the content correctly. Okay? You're spending way too much time, you're thinking way too much into it, and it's just how it is. Take the time to put this into practice. Pick your themes for the days that you post, select your topics, itemize out a few words and things that describe that event or whatever it is you're writing about, free write about it, then make your edit and post your blog. Don't worry so much about all the details. Make some content that people can relate to and connect with. That's what it's about. If you have questions, let me know.